Now, a full review of the all-new generation of the BMW Z4. Then in the front you can see you have a way wider front double kidney with BMW here. This is the M40i, so you have those matte grey accentuations. The base model would come with chrome double kidney frame, and you can also get a dark package where you have a shiny black double kidney frame, so you have some possibilities there. The M40i also has bigger air intakes in the lower part, stronger lower bumper, and those headlamps, they start with LED, and optional, the ones we see here, the adaptive LED lights. 4.32 m or 14.1 is the total length of the all-new generation of the Z4. That's 9 cm longer than the previous generation, so again an increase in length has been the theme also throughout the evolution of the Roadster models. 17-inch rims it starts, 18-inch for the M40i, which we see today here, 19-inch those ones we see, those ones are optional. The M40i also with a air outtake here in a contrasting way. This roof, by the way, is grey, and it has this ice cream parlor function that you can also open and close it, not only from the inside but also from the outside when you hold the closing button of the key. The roof is available in grey, as you can see here, also fitting to the exterior color, but also in black. You have those more horizontally drawn tail lamps. That's pretty common now in the automotive industry to do it that way, to give a visual width for the vehicle. And this integrated wing, I think it's a good solution instead of adding a separate one. Here the M40i, by the way, comes with massive exhaust pipes, and they look fake at first sight, but they are indeed real because they indeed dissolve from the round pipe into this wide angular end pipe. And on the other side, by the way, not the one that is close to me now, so on the right side then there of the vehicle, there you can also see an exhaust valve inside for even better sound. So with the top model, the M40i, we got a 3-liter R6 engine, so 6-cylinder petrol engine. Here with 340 horsepower, 4.5 seconds to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour, so pretty good performance for sure. And then you're also able to get smaller ones, the 20i 2-liter 4-cylinder with 197 horsepower, or the 30i, a 2-liter 4-cylinder with 258 horsepower. Well, I'm 1.86 or 6'1" if you haven't subscribed so far, and I have the seat at the moment in the lowest position. Indeed, you sit very low in the Roadster. That's, what's supposed to be. All the console here, the middle console, is really high in comparison to where you're seating. And a real true play Roadster like the Z3 or the Mazda MX-5, I would more expect to sit a little bit more on the car, to have like a smaller go-kart. But also those cars here, they tend to go longer and longer and longer. Although the car looks super flat, seems to be abundance of headroom here. So even for tall people, no problem in this Roadster. And that is again an advantage of the very low seating position and this non-so-super true Roadster style, that you can even get along with taller people here in that vehicle. And for those digital gauges, you can play around with them as well. Right side RPM, left side speed. You can also have the consumption meter or also the G meter. So the infotainment system, again, it reacts quite fast, very responsive. See, wow, really cool. And I like the visual display too. Here again, the lower middle console with those driving modes. Makes sense with the adaptive suspension then, of course. Here from the inside you can control the roof. And again, also metal knurling for the turning and pressing knob. And indeed, I'm really satisfied now with the build quality. And about the storage areas, well, they are indeed limited. Here you have some room, even a top tether, by the way, for a child seat here behind the co-driver seat. So now the boot capacity, and you can see it doesn't matter if the roof is open or not, it will always remain like this, 281 liters. Of course, it's a big advantage if you compare it to a hard top. I'm just driving in the comfort mode now to start it off, and the steering is super precise and direct. See here, just a slight command directly changes something on the road, and the car feels super balanced. And it is not so exaggerating from the driving feeling that you would say, oh, it's such a fun car, but I couldn't drive more than an hour with it. I feel I can drive also longer with that, and that's also very important. It doesn't, for example, feel as rough as a Porsche, for example. You know, like the Porsche Boxster has an advantage due to the midship engine concept, but this one here more feels cruisable as well. Here when I'm having the throttle and then letting the throttle go, you hear those exhaust valves plop, 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 plop from the rear. Really interesting. And immediately it's directly on the gas, so it almost feels like an electric vehicle because it's light, it's not too big, but still I got this immediate throttle response. And of course the road is not too bad, so it doesn't get too uncomfortable, although we're on the sporty adaptive suspension setting. Really feels like being in perfect control. The sport mode also lets me play around with the car just a little bit more. I mean, even now at 70 kilometers an hour, it feels basically, like nothing for this vehicle. So you can so easily catch those corners, and it's really super fun. Yeah, suspension-wise, I mean, look at that now, like slalom. Wow. Look at the response and how it's incredible how good the handling of this car is, although it does not have a midship engine concept, so they really figured out that weight distribution. As for the wind features, by the way, I mean, driving with the open top here, that's also something that changed. They increased that actually, or improved it. It doesn't have to be that warm anymore with this vehicle. So before you had a lot of wind coming to the cabin, but now not so much anymore, at least when you have the windows up there. So this can also move this car more to a summer-only convertible to an all-season convertible. So here in comfort mode and with roof closed, you can also have a silent experience. That's also quite nice. Think that also works on a longer term, for example. And now to our conclusion for today with the all-new BMW Z4 Roadster. Well, it is somewhat a more drastic change in design, that's for sure. But I think the overall design works. The only thing I would have wished is that maybe this side line doesn't raise towards the end, would just be a straight one, then it would be more timeless, I would say. And then I also like the new rear, and also that's a little bit longer, that does the car quite well. Also the interior, you have some more comfort now, definitely, also for taller people. Seating choices, I explained to you earlier what is the best choice there. You got new infotainment system. This is basically the biggest change on the interior, that you're up to date as for that. But a lot of people will still miss the Android Auto, but that's a general BMW subject for sure. Driving wise, it really handles superb with an equal weight balance, a great driving feeling for sure, and of course abundance of power. You didn't ever have had so much power then, especially here with the M40i. The lower engines, the small engines, will also do just fine for this car, especially when you want to more pick it as a purist version. Then again, if you want more sound, it will always be the 3-liter 6-cylinder here for sure. Well, the only thing that is missing a little bit, if you think about the evolution of Roadsters, to me the Z3 is still the real one basically, because it had the true Roadster feeling. Nowadays those Roadster more get in a comfortable Roadster stuff. So if you're more this Roadster purist seeking, I'm not exactly sure if you will be 100% happy with it. But if you then think about it and also think about, Yeah, I'm not going on a racetrack with that one every day. It's really, for, enjoying life as well. And then you can understand why this evolution has taken place. So even if also myself maybe want, driving wise, a smaller Z3, probably even in everyday driving life, I will be happier then with a little bit bigger, more comfortable Z4. That's my conclusion here for today. What do you think? Leave me your comments and let's discuss the all-new Z4. Join us also next time at Autogefuel.